Prosecutors charge 3 Rogers County family members for illegally cutting down 100-year-old trees on other people's property and then selling that lumber for profit. Deputies say after the 3 were arrested, one of them bonded out of jail, and deputies arrested him again just 2 days later for again cutting down more trees on somebody's property. News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter has the story.
Investigators say the first victim caught the Murphys using his equipment and cutting down his trees to sell. Just a month later, the first victim's neighbor caught Dominique Murphy cutting down trees on his property as well. James EIMER says he's owned his property for 50 years. He says while checking on his cattle, he found at least 20 of his trees cut down on his property.
Well, it's not very satisfying to think that you own it, somebody else takes advantage of it.
EIMER says Murphy destroyed part of his fence, which almost let out 40 head of cattle. He says when he and his wife confronted Dominique Murphy, Murphy yelled at them.
But it got kind of almost violent. As long as he's not on my property, I don't care where he is.
Deputies arrested all 3 Murphys in March for illegally cutting down trees on a neighbor's property. That victim says they did more than $30,000 in damage to his equipment and sold a portion of his trees for $5,000.
To use a man's equipment and fuel to build a road and harvest timber that doesn't belong to you, I think takes that to another level.
Sheriff Scott Walton says this goes beyond just cutting trees.
These are the people that plague the community, that love dope, that are going to do whatever it takes to get just a little bit more money to buy a little bit more dope, but entering into the work process and punching a time clock somewhere does not cross their mind.
Right now, both Tyler and Dominique Murphy are in jail, and Megan Murphy has bonded out. They all face charges of illegally cutting down trees and damaging property. In Rogers County, Reagan Ledbetter, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.